Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Leal in this incarnation, and today I'm going to talk about the new moon that is going to take place on June 18th, and for some places is on June 17th. But before that, I wanted to mention a few transits that are taking place these days, and they are very, very important. I'm a little bit stuck with my language today. So, Pluto is returning to Capricorn today, June 11th, and it is going to stay there until January 20th of 2024. So this means Capricorn is linked with the structures that we have built as a society. It has to do with leaders, authorities, and all of these things. So Pluto here is going to show us how old ways of taking the power are not serving anymore. The distribution of the power is not serving to us anymore. And this is like the preparation for the real revolution that is going to bring Pluto in Aquarius at the final end of 2024. So I think it's important because we are going to let die all the structures finally. This is the very end, and something that we have to pay attention to is that when Pluto entered in Aquarius in March until now, we see like a little like the trailer of Pluto in Aquarius. So this had to do specifically with artificial intelligences. And I explained this a lot of times, and I did a video talking about the psychographies that Parravicini, this painter that described the events of the end of the times, not the end of the humanity, but the end of the world as we knew it. How this quantic line that we are activating with the artificial intelligences, it's not the most the most intelligent line, because technology is not the demon. Technology is something that could serve to a higher purpose, but we have to ask ourselves why we are humanizing robots, or why we are putting those intelligent artificial intelligences to do things or are at the service of things that are more connected maybe with the human soul, for example, arts, or many people are starting to marry to robots. So I think there's a lot of series and films that have warned us about this. And I think technology could be something very, very useful if we put the technology at the service of sustainable things, or to align ourselves to the earth. This is what Uranus in Taurus is telling to us too. And I think we are going to see some of these things too. So I think it's important to make this difference between, how I said before, putting this energy at the service of these tasks so humans can take care of their spiritual development or expand their soul potential, than putting the energy in trying to humanize these robots, or having emotions. I think we should ask ourselves for what we are doing that. So I'm going to leave that there. And the other transit that we are having today is Mercury entering in Gemini. So Mercury is the planet of ideas, communication. And in Gemini, it likes to learn new things, be open to new ideas, connect with people that are stimulating ideas. And something that we have to take care with this Mercury is not to be open in so many tasks that we finally don't end doing anything. By the day, June 15th, Mercury is going to stay in a square with Saturn in Pisces. So if you remember, I did a video talking about the divine justice. And in this video, I explained how we as humans developed these contracts and all this bureaucracy because we cannot be in coherence many times with our own word. We are not doing what we say we do. We want to do. So I think that with this square between Mercury and Saturn, we we have to be very responsible from the ways we are communicating. We have to be emotionally responsible because Saturn is in Pisces, and it's very important to take care about the coherence from which we are talking to others, to be in coherence with our own word, because our word matters. And in fact, the verb creates here. So this transit is very important because it's going to participate of the new moon, and it's going to be, the orb is going to be more amplified by that moment, but it's going to participate. So other thing that is important is that Saturn is going to start its retrogradation the day before, on June 17th. So people that have important planets, personal planets like Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, or luminaries, Sun, Moon, Mars is another personal planet, between the grades 0 or 7 of Pisces, Sagittarius, Gemini, and Virgo. They could feel this with much more intensity, but we all have Pisces in our natal chart, and we all have a Saturn running in our natal chart right now. So this retrogradation is going to let us do a review of the things that we've been managing these months from March until now. And if we acted in a way that was not responsible, then we're going to see that we are going to have to take charge of the things that were pendant in the past. And how this Saturn in Pisces is telling us that maturity requires spiritual development too, that we have to pay attention to our inner side in order to understand how we are co-creating our reality, and in order to integrate the archetype of authority in ourselves. So okay, the new moon is going to be in the grade 26 of Gemini. Sun and Moon they are going to be unify in that grade, and they are going to start a cycle of 6 months. And this new moon is in a square almost exactly with Neptune in Pisces. So here we are going to feel a lot of emotions. Neptune is linked to the unconscious collective. It is linked with the astral plane, the oniric plane, so we could have a lot of activity in our dreams, and they could show us messages that are very important for our path, for our journey. And okay, here it's very important that we, if we being avoid to contact with something with emotions, or to communicate to others something that is important, then we have to do it. It's important to activate our discernment with the information that we are receiving too. And what is important here is that we could be able to descend ideas that are linked to our dreams and ways to materialize in this plane. I'm going to explain this why. But we have to take contact with the reality too. It's very important to put our feet on the ground and to stay in contact with our spiritual, our higher dimensions of the soul. But here we are humans operating in this material plane. So let's remember that the regent of this new moon, Mercury, is in square with Saturn and is in a sextile with Venus in Leo. So we have to communicate from an authenticity here. We have to be what we are and express ourselves from this place. And it's important to take those ideas and do something with them, because Saturn is in a sextile with Jupiter in Taurus. So here there is an opportunity of expansion and of materializing. But again, if we let that ideas stay in a fantasy place, then we won't be able to do concretion with those ideas. So this could be a moment of a lot of inspiration, could be a moment of emotional chaos too. So I think we have to pay attention to our emotions and to activate our discernment, because how I said before, Neptune is the sign of unconscious collective. So we could be people who have charge of Pisces, or a strong position of Neptune could be very mixed up with emotions of others. So it's important to take responsibility for our own only. So okay, I'm going to leave this video here. And let's remember that Mars and Venus are in Leo, so it's a very important moment to recognize our own talents, and these opportunities of expansion are aligned with those talents too. So I'm going to leave the video here. You know that I am doing reflections day by day, so I'm going to talk about this more in the next days. Thank you everyone, and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.